John Yoder and Jenny Yoder, and we're traveling back from Mississippi, and just thought about sharing a story of my childhood life, maybe my teenage life, to where somebody might benefit from it, as far as how it is it's called Rumspringa, what Rumspringa really is. But I'm just going to share a little story of thinking back of my teenage life of Saturday nights we would leave, and it was always a thing as Rumspringa. Just another story of so-called Rumspringa, running around, or teenage life. I can remember back in the day when I bought my first car, and I was Amish, and I thought it was cool stuff because I didn't grow up that way to have a car. My parents did not have a car, but it was kind of cool because it was a red hot Mach 1 Mustang, and it had a spoiler in the back, spoiler up front. And so one night we were just cruising around, and we happened to come through this one town, and there was another Mach 1 Mustang. It was red also, but maybe not souped up like mine was. However, I was going through town, and this kid, he sped up too, like he wanted to race. And so we decided we're going to race. And we were going through east side of town where it's like maybe 35 mile an hour, and we were doing like 65 and 70, and by the time the race was over with, we were both doing over 90 mile an hour on a 55 mile an hour zone. And we looked back, and there was a cop coming, and so I decided I'm not going to stop, I'm going to keep going. And ended up, the guy that was racing me is the one that got the ticket. And I went on home, or actually I didn't go home. We went to another party. And so the following weekend, this kid pulls up to Arthur, where I was parked at, where other kids were at. And he comes up onto the side, and he starts criticizing me for trying to race with him. And I said, why? What happened? And so he was saying that he couldn't go fast enough, and he's the one that got the ticket because he was the red Mach 1 Mustang, just like mine. And it was so funny because he said he got a $150 fine for speeding, and he said luckily the cop gave him a break because he was way over the speed limit. And I said, I'm sorry to hear that, but he said, what kind of motor do you have under the car? And I'm like, dude, I don't know. All I know, I was told that I have like a 355 Cleveland or something like that. I said, I really don't know what I have. I said, all I know is it's got some power. And that wasn't the first race that I did with another kid. And it's more ignorance of being a teenager, being in Rumspringa. And it's just some of that stuff that you kind of regret of, why did he do that? Why did I race? And knowing I had alcohol with me, and on top of that, I was drunk, and I was I had drugs with me, and I could have got busted and been in behind bars. I could have killed myself, lost control of the vehicle. Just a lot of things you think back, like, why did I do that? And it's the peers that you hang around with that are influencing you, and you influence them. And it just keeps going, and it doesn't get better until you walk away from that influence. However, that's just another Rumspringa story of the life that I chose in that teenage life. So
the moral of the story is, don't try this at home.
Exactly. Don't try this at home, because it could cost your life, it could hurt someone else, and it's silly.